Welcome to Mikab Model College online tutorial. We hope at the end of this lesson you will have acquired the expected learning outcome. Sit down and listen attentively as we introduce your subject teacher.
Welcome to another class on English language. I remain Mr. Sani O. Victor, your English teacher. Now, last time we stopped at sentences. I told you that a sentence is a group of words that make a complete thought, and I told you that it can be a command, it can be a statement, and it can be a question. Now we look at 5 elements of a sentence. That is, we talked about subject, we talked about verb, we talked about object, we talked about complement, and we talked about adverbial. If you've not forgotten, I also told you that we have another one called predicate. Now we're going to look at the types of sentences. The types of sentences. Basically, there are 4 types of sentence. They are simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. We are going to take it one after the other. Now, the first one is simple sentence. The simple sentence is an independent clause or the main clause that expresses only one thought. It usually has only one verb and it conveys only one idea. Now, what is important here is this: one idea. That is, it has one verb and it conveys one idea. So it's a simple sentence. Therefore, it's a clause. Simple sentence is a clause on its own. It's a clause on its own, and it's a main clause. Now, let's look at the examples. For examples, we have this one. The woman walked into the sitting room. Now, when you look at this is the idea we are expressing here. Walked. Now, let's look at the second example. Nike went to the market. Nike went to the market. The idea is went. Now, the next example is this. She bought a lot of goods. She bought a lot of goods. That is a simple sentence too, because it's expressing bought as an idea. Now, the second one is compound sentence. A compound sentence is formed when 2 or more independent clauses, don't forget, independent clauses, that is, each of the clauses can stand on its own. It can be more than one. It must be more than one, but it can be more than 2. Independent are joined together by using coordinate conjunction like and, or, no, but, to form this compound sentence. That is, you must have more than one clauses, and each of these clauses must be independent. That is, they can stand on its own. When you now join the sentences together, or you join the clauses together by the use of this coordinate conjunction and, or, no, but, what we have just formed is called compound sentence. For example, let's look at this one. The woman walked into the sitting room and found Olu sitting on a chair. Now, the woman walked into the sitting room is an independent clause on its own. Now, Olu, okay, the second one is that this very woman found Olu sitting on a chair. It's another independent clause. When you join the two by the use of and, now by joining it now we have removed the second woman because they are the same person. So that is why we said the woman walked into the sitting room and found Olu sitting on a chair. So this type of sentence is called compound. Why? And is joining 2 independent clauses. Now let's look at the next example. Nike went to the market and bought lots of goods. Nike went to the market, an idea on its own. The same Nike bought lots of goods, another idea. But this and is joining 2 independent clauses. Therefore, this type of sentence is called compound sentence. Now let's look at the next one. My friend visited me yesterday and we played chess. My friend visited me yesterday. One idea, an independent idea. We played chess, an independent idea. So when we bring the two together with the use of and, coordinate conjunction, what we have formed is compound sentence. Now, the third one, complex sentence. A complex sentence is a sentence with one independent or main clause and one or more dependent or subordinate clause. Look at it. This is very important. What you must see under complex sentence before you call it a complex sentence is that there must. I said must. It must have just a single independent clause. But the dependent clause can be more than one. It can be one or more than one. But our independent clause must be one. So let's look at the examples. The first one, this is the boy who was caught stealing oranges. This is the boy. This is one idea. This one is an independent idea. It can stand on its own. Who was caught stealing oranges is another one. This one cannot stand on its own. If you look at this one, this is one main, one subordinate. Therefore, it's a complex sentence. Now, let's look at the next example. Let's look at the next example. The teacher flogged him because he jumped the fence. The teacher flogged him because he jumped the fence. If you look at the first one, the teacher flogged him, an independent idea. Because he jumped the fence, another idea, but this one is not, is a subordinate clause. So when you have one main, one subordinate, you call it a complex sentence. Don't forget I told you can have more than one subordinate clauses. Yes. Now, the third one, this is the girl who danced very well at the party. This is the girl, an independent idea, who danced very well at the party, a subordinate idea. So it is a complex sentence. Now, let's look at this one. Although the manager came late, he was in the factory before most of the workers. Now, when you look at this one, the first idea here, although the manager came late, this is a subordinate idea. Now, look at this comma. It's very, very important. Because I'm starting this sentence with the subordinate idea, you have to separate it using comma. He was in the factory before most of the workers. This is a main idea. So when you bring the two together, what you have just formed is a complex sentence. Now, let's look at the fourth one. I said compound complex sentence. As the name suggests, when you bring the elements, that is the features of compound sentence in conjunction with complex sentence, what you have formed is known as compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence is a sentence with at least two independent. If I have not forgotten, I told you under compound that there must be one independent. But here, there must be at least minimum of two independent clauses. That is, you can have more than two. And at least one dependent clause. Here, there must be at least one, which means you can have more than one. So what is important under compound complex is this. The independent clause must be at least two. It cannot be one. If you have just one, that is not a compound complex sentence. Now, for example, let's look at the examples under compound complex. Your creditor came yesterday when you were not at home, but I was able to pay him. Look at this, the first idea. Your creditor came yesterday. This is an independent idea. One. When you were not at home, this is a dependent idea. Look at the next one. But I was able to pay him. This is also an independent idea. By mere looking at this board, coordinate conjunction that I told you initially, it must join what can stand on its own. Therefore, you have one, this one is an independent idea, this is also another independent idea. When you join the two with this subordinate idea here, so what you have formed is compound complex sentence. Let's look at the second one. The speakers came into the hall when the light was off, but they were able to address the students. Now, the speakers came into the hall. This is an independent idea. When the light was off, this is a dependent idea. But they were able to address the student. This is also an independent idea. So where you have two independent ideas but one dependent idea, what we have formed is compound complex sentence. Now let's look at this third example. The students stood up when the bell was sounded and everybody began to sing the national anthem. Now, the students stood up. This is an independent idea. When the bell was sounded, this is a dependent idea, and everybody began to sing the national anthem. An independent idea. So this sentence is a compound complex sentence. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for further information on English language. Thanks and God bless you.